let's start with the Clippers, because my question for you is, if we're sitting there listening to Tyronn Lue after the game talk about his team and how all is well, I'm not worried, nothing to worry about here with my team, down 0-2 going on the road, what would your reaction be?
First of all, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'd be real worried, because let's remember they lost their final 3 games in the bubble, so that's now 5 straight losses that they've had in the playoffs, and they arranged this. They purposely lost their last 2 games so they could play Dallas, and they wanted to avoid the Lakers. And like I keep saying, they're going to avoid the Lakers if they keep playing like this. They won't ever have to worry about playing LeBron James in the playoffs. You know, it's funny, too, about the Clippers. I just thought it was a bad look for them because really as an organization, they've never accomplished anything. They've never been to a conference finals, yet you're trying to arrange how it's going to end up for you, and it's backfiring. They haven't played well at home, and, you know, you wanted to play Luka Doncic, go knock yourself out. Now you have to go on the road and win there in Dallas. And, hey, listen, even if Dallas takes 1 at home, now you're going to be playing 3 more elimination games in the series, so they're in a lot of trouble. And if they end up losing this, and with Kawhi with the ability to opt out, let the Kawhi to the Knick rumor start up by the weekend.
Oh, my goodness. Frank, don't
my
goodness.
All right, you said
You just did it. You just did it, Frank. A lot of people, not a lot of people, I take that back. Some people were saying that Kawhi Leonard is the best player in basketball. The best player in basketball. What do you think after watching Kawhi over the last couple of years? I mean, last night he did have 30 in the first half, but seemed to kind of dissipate in the second half.
Well, the guy is an unbelievable player. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. But let's remember the championship that he won in Toronto, and that's great. Kevin Durant only played 12 minutes in the series, and in the 12 minutes he played, his team ended up winning that game. So I watched Kevin. I was in Brooklyn last night. I saw Kevin Durant. I saw what LeBron James did last night. If you're asking me to draft players today, I'm taking Kevin Durant or LeBron James before I'm going to take Kawhi Leonard. Great player. But I will say this for Kawhi, and I think him being quiet and him being a little flaky, it's pretty good. Because if LeBron James and Kevin Durant had done this over the past couple of years, they'd be getting a lot more criticism than Kawhi gets. Because everything that happened last year, and I know you've been on this, Jay, you went after me on Get Up for saying this. I love player empowerment. But when things didn't work out last year with the Clippers, the guy that skated was Kawhi Leonard. Doc Rivers ended up getting fired because of it. So at some point, Kawhi Leonard, you're the one that wanted this. We now have to see the results on the court.
Well, Frank, hey, you mentioned I got fired. That's true. It's one of the greatest things and the mysteries of being an L.A. guy. The Clippers clipped again. No, I'm just kidding.
So when you pretty good imitation though of Doc.
When you look at the Clippers, though, in the situation that they put themselves in, where do they go from here? Where do Ty Lue, who thinks that, hey, that's not a big deal being down 2-0, we can go into Dallas and try and even the score?
Well, this could be a turning point for the franchise in a positive way, because now it's going to be really hard to win this series. And you guys mentioned the odds, what they are, and how many teams have been down 0-2 in the series, losing the first 2 games at home, and they don't come back and win. Maybe this will be a turning point for them. And Paul George, it's, to me, if it's always about the superstars, it has to be about the superstars now. They're the guys that you have to look for, and they're going to need Rondo to do something. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Ty Lue, a lot of pressure on Kawhi and Paul George, because Doc Rivers was the one that had to take the fall, and there'll be pressure on that coaching staff. And think about Steve Ballmer; he's got all the money in the world, but there is something to be said about having some toughness out there, guys that can come through in the clutch, and you just have not seen it with the Clippers. Remember, guys, 5 straight losses in the playoffs for them right now.